Yo, peace and blessings. Coming back with another video. It's been a minute since I did a video, but I had to take a little break from social media, and cause sometimes it could just be a lot going on with that, and sometimes you just want to go back into reality and just do your own thing. And there's other things that I was getting together as well, and I'm still getting together that I'm working on. So I need to concentrate and focus on that. And sometimes you need to just get off the computer and get off social media in order to do those things. But something I got today when I woke up, Spirit, God, Universe, they was telling me, get familiar with doing things unfamiliar. Get familiar with doing things unfamiliar. And I'll explain what that means. That means get in the habit of not doing things on the daily that you're familiar with and start doing things on the daily that you're unfamiliar with in regards of your growth and expansion as an individual, as a person, spirituality, and any other areas of your life that you want to grow and expand on. And you'll see me looking down through this video because there's things and points that I wrote down because I didn't want to be babbling or missing any points or any details or key things to connect to this video so you can understand exactly where I'm coming from. So you're gonna see me looking down throughout the video and stuff at the paper that I wrote these points down so I can get to the point and not be babbling or forget anything that's important. So I explained about what it meant as far as getting out the habit of doing things on the daily that you're familiar with and getting the habit of doing things that you're unfamiliar with on the daily for your growth and expansion as a person and any other area in your life that you want to grow and expand on. One of the examples I give you is that I stopped smoking weed on my birthday, January 18th for this year. And Spirit, God, the universe was on me for years about this, about, you're going to have to stop smoking. You're going to have to stop smoking. And for a while, I was neglecting to do that. And I kept saying, damn, man, I don't want to give it up. I mean, I slowed down from when I started in 2009, 2010. I wasn't doing it as much, but I still didn't want to let it go. And I didn't realize how much that was blocking something in my life. For me personally, anybody else out there, if you want to do that, that's on you. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I'm saying for my personal journey, they were telling me specifically, I needed to stop. And I was neglecting it for the past few years and just saying, I don't really want to give it up, because I used to use it for when I'm just chilling on my own, or when I probably chill with somebody I know, or if I'm using it for when I create, when I'm doing my music, when I'm writing, anything else I'm creating. But little did I know that was creating a blockage and a reliance on it because I was feeling that I needed it for those certain things. And, going towards my birthday on January 18th and stuff like that, going towards it, they kept saying, yo, you're going to have to give it up. You're going to have to give it up. And I started taking heed to that. And then I started just feeling inside myself that I didn't even like it as much no more. For some reason, it was like when January came, once we went into 2020, it was like a switch happened. Something inside me was just like, I got turned off by it. Like, I felt like I wasn't even getting as high as much as I usually was in the previous years anyway, but I just started getting turned off from it for some reason. And I was like, you know what? With the weed that I did have left around that time going towards my birthday, I was like, once my birthday coming, I'll finish this last bit up on my birthday, I'm done with it. Because I don't know what it was just a switch. Maybe it was that 10-year cycle from 2010 to 2020, because I started in 2009, 2010 when I first started smoking weed. And I guess that was that 10-year cycle. I guess that was done. So now it's a new 10-year cycle. So something in me was just like, I was just turned off by it. And that I just stopped. I just completely stopped. After my birthday, I did it that last day on the 18th of January, 2020. And I stopped. And little did I know that was creating a blockage for me in my awareness of things I was being able to be in tune with at the highest level. Because I was smoking stuff like that, not as much, but a couple times throughout the day or whatever, throughout the day, daily, and even probably before I go to sleep. And once I stopped, I realized how much I was having dreams every night. Like I was able to remember them every night. Like now it's to the point it's non-stop. When I go to sleep, I know I'm gonna have a dream, and it's multiple dreams, probably like 3 a night. And I didn't realize, like, oh snap, like I didn't even realize that was creating a blockage for me to be more in tune and get more messages through my dreams. Because I'll have dreams and I interpret them and I'll figure something out, or the God or the universe and the spirits will give me an answer in my dreams, or I'll have visions of different stuff from my surroundings or people that's in my life to help prevent certain things that's going on. So I didn't even realize that that was creating a blockage for me. And that's what I mean by the title of get familiar with doing things that's unfamiliar to you, because I was so familiar with doing that through the past few years that I didn't realize that that was creating a blockage for me. And now I'm doing what's unfamiliar to me, which is not smoking every day, not smoking at all anymore, just stopping. And that was a blessing in itself, because now I see how that was blocking me and blocking my spiritual gifts and my powers of getting messages, seeing things before it happened in my visions. And I was having visions the more I went towards 2020 and different messages, but it wasn't at its highest level that it could have been. Now I understand why God, the universe, and spirits was telling me that I need to stop doing that throughout the years as I got on my spiritual journey through these past few years. I understand it now and I see it clearer. So that was very vital and important to me. Another example is I changed my name, my social media name. For those that know me, I want to say starting probably around maybe 2008, maybe 2007, maybe high school probably. But this girl, I think probably 2007, but this girl I knew, I was looking for a new screen name at the time. This when people was using AIM, Instant Messenger. And I went to change it. I didn't know what to change it to. And this girl I knew, she was like, "Oh, change it to Ladies Love Cook." And I was like, that's kind of cocky and conceited. I don't want nobody thinking like I'm being cocky and conceited. But she was like, just use it. You're not lying when you say it. So I'm like, you know what? I go with it. And it kind of stuck with me through those years from 2007 to 2019 and stuff. I was using that as my social media name. I know on like Instagram, when MySpace was popping, stuff like that. And people started calling me that as a little nickname and stuff when they would see me and stuff, as as a joke. People call you as your social media name when they see you. So I didn't realize that was creating a blockage for me as well. The more I got on my spiritual journey through the years, because I still was using that name. And they was telling me for almost 2 years, once again, God, the universe, and the spirits was like, yo, you got to change your name. You got to change your name. And once again, I was reluctant and neglecting to do it because I was so familiar with using that I didn't want to change it. And like, as people, we don't like change. And I was like, I don't want to change it. And they was telling me for the past 2 years, like, yo, you're the ghetto guru now. Like, as on your spiritual journey, like, you're the ghetto guru. You can't be using that name no more. Ladies Love Cook. And I was like, I don't want to change it though. People gonna be looking at me crazy if I change it to the ghetto guru. They're gonna be like, oh, what? Like, since when? Or who you think he is? But the reason they told me that name is because it was like, it's not many people that's on your vibe and on your spiritual journey and have the spiritual gifts and talents that you do in the ghetto. It's not a lot of people that's on that or even have those abilities or know that they can develop their abilities to that level. So that is you. That's you now. You're not a ladies' man no more. You're not that party dude no more. You're not doing those things no more. You've been stopped doing those things. That doesn't resonate with you. That's blocking you. That's what exactly they was telling me. So they was like, you can't use that name no more. So like I said, I was reluctant. I was neglecting it. And then finally going towards 2020, once we got in 2020, I just changed it. And I started seeing a difference with certain stuff and certain people that I was coming in connections with and certain things that was changing along with when I stopped smoking the weed too. And I was like, wow, that was really powerful. No wonder they was telling me to do that a while ago. And that's another example where I was talking about get familiar with the unfamiliar. That was something unfamiliar for me to do because I'm like, I don't go as that name on social media. But they was telling me that I needed to do that in order to bring in the frequency of stuff that I was needing on my spiritual journey now. And hold on. And they was telling me that I needed to do that on the journey that I was on now with my spirituality and my individuality. And Ladies Love Cook didn't resonate with me no more. Like they said, I'm not a ladies man no more. I'm not in the parties. I'm not hanging. I'm not drinking all crazy. I'm not doing all that stuff I was doing those past few years. I'm a whole different person now. and I have to resonate on the level of frequency that I'm on now, because that's stagnating me as well. Little do I know. So that was powerful for me as well. And one of the other things I drew, the last point, was drawing and dream journals. I said drawing because one day, I think it was last month. Yeah, last month, one day, for some reason, it was during, I think, the retrograde that was going on around that time, like early February. And something just kept telling me, to one day to just go get some crayons, go get some crayons, go buy some crayons. And I was like, why? And I when spirit tell me to do something, God, the universe, I don't question it. So something just kept telling me, go get some crayons, go get some crayons. So I just went out. I thought I had some in the crib, but I didn't. So I went out. I went to the store. I went to the dollar store. The line was mad long, longer than it usually is. And I was like, you know what? There ain't nothing but a test right there. Because if I get frustrated and don't do it, I'm going to miss whatever is trying to be shown to me. So, I stayed on the line, waited on that long line, got the stuff that I needed, got the crayons, and I bought some color pencils too. And I went home, started just drawing what was ever on my mind. And I'm not a big crazy artist from my standpoint. Maybe somebody else might see it and they see something different. But like I said, I was doing something I was unfamiliar with that I haven't done in years. So I just was following spirit, drawing what was ever on my mind. I started drawing some clouds, black clouds, blue clouds. Started drawing hearts and stuff like that. Because it was Valentine's Day the day I did it. Started drawing hearts on the picture, sunflowers at the bottom, just stuff that was on my mind. And when I was finished with it, I didn't get the finished coloring in, but when I finished drawing some of the images, I put it back on the table like, oh, this is stupid. Like, what am I doing? Left it there, right? So the next day, I woke up. This girl that I know, she texts me, and she usually doesn't text me that early or whatever. So she texts me this link to this video, and I looked at the link of the video, and this lady that does like a media blog and stuff like that, she happened to be talking about this the locust that was in South Africa, that was happening, and that was on the same day of the Valentine's Day that I was drawing all this stuff on, and I had no idea about this going on. So that was spirit showing me that's another way I can channel besides my dreams, and when I wake up and I get messages from God, the universe, and the spirits of different stuff. I can also channel through drawing images, and I could get messages of what's going on through the world or what's around me or something that's to come. And I had no idea I had that ability. So that's one example again of getting familiar with doing things that's unfamiliar. Because like I said, I used to draw, but that's when I was like real young, 5, 6, and I stopped for all them years. I'm 29 now. So the fact that they told me to do that day, and I listened and I did that, and then the girl sent me the link, and in that picture I drew some angel looking thing at first, but then something made me draw wings around it like a fly and color it black and yellow, and I was like, I don't know why. But in that video, when they showed the locusts and all that stuff flying, it was like in fields with grass and stuff and sunflowers, and the locust was looking in the sky all black and yellow, and I was like, oh my God, that's exactly what I drew. You see the black sky, the blue sky, you just see them flying. And I'm like, how would I know that? How? So spirit, God, universe is showing me, once again, getting familiar with doing things that you're unfamiliar, because you're going to find something in there or realize something that you didn't even know you could do. The power in you, the gifts and the ability in all of us. And also with the dream journals, writing down all my dreams. I never was journaling for years. I used to do that when I was younger. I stopped doing poetry. I stopped doing a lot of things for years. And once I started realizing and doing these things again I was unfamiliar with, it started opening my mind even more, making me realize how powerful I am with my gifts and how much I developed them through the years and how much more they're going up as I let go of those other things that was blocking me. And little did I know the things that I was familiar with, because now I started doing things I was unfamiliar with, and now I'm like, wow, I didn't realize the power in it. So it was just very eye-opening to me, and it was like, yo, this is some of the stuff that we go past, or things that we don't want to let go, whether it's a person, a thing, a habit, addiction, whatever it is, we don't like letting certain things go, and we don't realize how that is creating blockages within us because we're so used to doing it on the daily. So it was just amazing to see that, and then to know that I have an outlet in so many different ways, or ways to get messages or reach people or do things to help people in ways that I forgot, that I was unfamiliar with. And I couldn't have seen that if I didn't let those things that I was familiar with go, and open up things that I was unfamiliar with, and not having that fear to step into that unknown and then that unfamiliar territory. And that's a lot of things that we got to start doing as well as individuals and in a collective, and just overall in our lives, because we don't know what's really waiting for us on the other side, because the things that we're afraid of letting go, or fearing to let go, are actually not doing us justice really at all. And there's something way better on the other side waiting for us on the unknown, in the unknown rather. And we need to just stop fearing and go to get it, because it's going to be such a blessing to us in so many ways. So I just wanted to leave y'all with that, give y'all that perspective and everything that they was telling me. And like I said, I had to write it all down, and I think I got everything that I needed out, that I wanted y'all to take in and understand. So maybe you could analyze some things that you was fearing to let go through the years, or you was getting messages from your spirit guides, your God, your universe, whoever you believe in, or your higher source, power up there, whatever you call it, or even just people around you that was telling you certain things you might need to let go of. And so you could realize that it's something on the other side of the unknown waiting for you, and not to fear it at all. So I just want to leave out with that. I know it was long, but I had to get through it and help explain it so it could all make sense. So peace and blessings. Much love to y'all. Wish y'all the best. Stay safe out there. Keep doing your thing, and don't let nothing or nobody stop you. And keep going, because the sun waiting for you on the other side of the unknown. Peace.